lastly, now we have our quick picks of the week. Alec, how did that go for us in week 14?
Yeah, it was a nasty week for both of us, man. Very, very nasty. Both of us below 500 on our picks.
Man,
you did edge me out by one. I believe I was 5-9, and you were 6-8. So
I'll take it, I guess. A win's a win. So yes, it should be a good week 15. I'm back ahead in the win column, I guess, based on that.
I think so.
We'll see if I stay ahead or if you can close the gap yet again. Looking forward to all of that. So yeah, week 15 quick picks. Let us know who you guys have as your upset of the week and what games you're looking forward to. All of that. Sure, gonna be a fun one for a full weekend. We have some games on Saturday. We have some games on Monday, I believe, early as well. All kind of spread out this week, so should be a fun one. Let's get into it. So week 15 quick picks. Here we go. First off, Thursday, Chargers at Raiders. How you have that playing out, Alec?
Just with the injury to Justin Herbert, maybe one of those quarterbacks steps up and plays decently well, but the Raiders got a little bit of juice. They got their own issues too at quarterback as well.
They had a little bit of juice. They just went 3-0 versus the Vikings.
That's true. That's true. That was a nasty, maybe the nastiest game of the season. Right after the Patriots Chargers had a 6-0 game, they followed up with 3-0. That was gross.
Nasty work.
That's true. It's kind of a battle of the incompetent AFC West teams in a sense.
Yeah.
But they had some juice at least before this last game.
Right.
They were with Antonio Pierce there. They looked like they were trending in a better direction at least, but they have their own problems as well. Devontae Adams cannot get anything going with these quarterbacks they got over there. But I'm gonna slightly lean with them just with the depleted roster now that the Chargers have with Justin Herbert being out.
It seems depleted because Herbert is a big factor, but I think if one of these other quarterbacks come in and just do their job and don't try to overcomplicate things with the other pieces that are there, other guys can step up enough to get them over the hump versus the Raiders squad, who I don't think has the juice right now anymore. Coming off of what they just did versus the Vikings. So going with the Chargers in that one, actually. So we'll see how that plays.
Thursday game. It's a Thursday game, though. So
it's a Thursday game. I guess even more reason for the backup for the Chargers to start
right
now for them in Vegas.
Weird stuff will happen.
Yeah. It's going to be weird. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. Speaking of the Vikings versus the Raiders, we mentioned last week, now playing the Bengals in Cincinnati on 10 a.m. on Saturday. I'm reading that right. We'll see how that goes. How you have that playing now, Vikings and Bengals in Cincinnati.
Yeah, give me Cincinnati. Give me Jake Browning versus Nick Mullins. Browning's been playing decent football. Like he's not making mistakes, taking care of the football, being pretty efficient, and that's all you can ask for him. As you're saying, like for the Chargers backups, that's all you can ask of your backup. Take care of the ball, be efficient, move the ball down the field, and allow your skill players to make the big plays. And I think the Bengals will do that against Vikings.
I agree. You won't go into that, but yeah, all you said, I echo. So Bengals in that one. Going on from there, Steelers and Colts also on Saturday afternoon in Indianapolis. How you have that playing out?
Yeah, the Colts I think let me down last week, but the Steelers haven't been too hot either. I think I'm gonna go with the Colts at home in this one. Maybe it's a close game, but I'm gonna go Colts.
Yeah, hey, prayer works, man. Rolling with the Colts, keep this thing rolling. Well, Mike keeps seeing the Steelers fall. So yeah, he didn't keep on losing this week as well. So yeah, going with the Colts in that one. Going on from there, Broncos and Lions. We just pointed out also on Saturday to close out Saturday. How you have that playing out in Detroit?
Yeah, this one's interesting because with the Lions at home, I know they want to get back in the win column too, but this Broncos defense is really solid, and they've just been playing well as a team of late. I think I want to slightly.
Are they on a win streak? Did they lose recently?
They did lose one of the games because they were on like a 5 or 6 game win streak. They lost one, and then they just won this past week. Yeah. Man, I want to go Broncos.
Say with your chest.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Man, I'll go Broncos. Broncos close win.
See, they didn't believe. But God did, man. We be back. I know I doubted them this last week and was frustrated with them because it was Bears' performance, but I don't think that will last. I think they can turn it around in Detroit where they are definitely more comfortable at home. I think they will have a good outing versus Broncos squad, who is impressive themselves, but I think the Lions have more weapons on available to them to get over the hump there. So yeah, rolling with the Lions in that one. Going from there, Giants and Saints. Tommy is again, or do you think the Saints can get the job done this time?
Hey, Tommy's on a run. What are the Giants in the playoff rankings now? Do they have any outside shot of making a run?
They are.
See, they're 5-8, so they're in the 12 spot. They probably have to win out to be.
Yeah, they have to win out, but I mean they got the Saints, Falcons, Seahawks, Rams ahead of them. So the Rams will also put up a good fight. Seahawks kinda, but the other two is possible to jump up. So who knows?
For sure. The Saints aren't really a scary team right now. Their defense is decent though. Man. Tommy's Lynn Sandy run might continue. It might. It might. I think I'm gonna go with the Saints though in a close one.
See, hey, can't doubt Tommy just yet. I'm rolling with Tommy right now. I know the Saints have some more pieces there, but there's entertainment value. I'm rolling with Tommy. What he has going on there, and I think that him opening up the offense a little bit, ironic, surprisingly, with Saquon and those guys can get past the Saints squad who hasn't separated as they need to. So, rolling with the Giants in that one on Sunday morning. Also on Sunday, Bears and Browns in Cleveland. How you have that playing out?
Yeah, haven't been a whole lot of definitive ones for me yet. I think the Browns team with Flacco has looked better. Bears defense has been better. I think I'm gonna stick with the Browns. I think they're probably overall better when you factor in all three phases of the game. So I'm gonna go with the Browns, but the Bears can make it interesting.
I wanted to say the Browns are the better squad, but for positioning reasons, I got to go with the Bears in this one, and hopefully they get the job done versus Joe. We mentioned in my truths that we can't keep rooting for Joe Flacco over there anymore. It's time for the Browns to start falling a little bit. I think the Bears, who had a good game this last week versus the Lions, they can compete with a team like that. They can compete with the Browns as well. The little defense is real stout. I think Justin Fields is at the end of the year. He's not at that point where he finally turns it on with this offense, and I think he'll put up another good performance versus them in Cleveland. So we'll see how that plays out there. Going on, Falcons and Panthers. How you have that playing out?
I'll go with the Falcons there. Panthers, maybe the worst team in the league. So I'll go with the Falcons.
Agreed. Going on from there, Bucks and Packers. How you have that playing out in Green Bay?
I don't know now. With the Packers, I thought they were turning the corner and everything, but maybe that's just more of a salute to DeVito.
I guess so.
Bucks, Packers. I think I'm a roll with the Packers in this. But it could go either way.
I'm going with the Packers as well in that. Jets and Dolphins in Miami on Sunday morning. How you have that playing out?
Tyreek's for sure going to suit up, right?
It seems like it.
He came back to the game, didn't he?
He's going to be sitting for some practices this week. As he ices up a little bit, but he should be available.
I'll say, I think they need him to win, to your kind of MVP point.
Yeah, he's the MVP, so you need your most valuable guy to step in. So
I think they need him to win against a Jets defense that's really good. If this was a lesser team, they could probably do without him, but against this Jets defense, who they make elite quarterbacks look bad. Multiple times this season, they've made elite quarterbacks look bad. I don't think they've given up a 30 or a 300-yard passing game in 30 plus games now in a row. So it's a really stout passing defense. And this Dolphins team struggled against them a little bit last time they played them. They had a couple big picks on Tua. I think the Dolphins win with Tyreek healthy. But it might be a closer game than you might have expected.
I agree with that. Just the Dolphins have not fully dominated again as we thought they would. And then just knowing that Tyreek hobble is going to make things a little more interesting. But if he's playing, they surely should find a way in the end to get the job done. So
salute to Zach Wilson too. He had a good game last week.
I almost gave him to him this week. Yeah.
He's been getting dogged on in previous earlier in the season, in previous seasons. We see that Tim Boyle and Simeon were not better than Zach Wilson either. Salute to him. Yeah,
good stuff there. Moving on from there, Chiefs Patriots was once a real fun match of the week. watch every year. Now it might not be as interesting how you have that playing in New England.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs. Like Patriots, as weird as it might sound, could maybe give them a scare just the way the Chiefs have been playing.
Sure.
But I do think the Chiefs win this one. It's gonna be like sound the alarm if they don't. Like some real issues if they don't win this game against the Patriots. Because while they did beat a bad Steelers team last week, they're a struggling team themselves. Like we mentioned the potential of Belichick being out after the season being rumored. It's been largely a failure for the Patriots. So this is a game that the Chiefs should win.
Kind of a side truth that I kind of had and I wanted to mention at some point, just this is the time of the year where teams are in their stride. Like we'll start seeing teams who start gearing up and perfecting their offenses and all of that. We see the Ravens kind of put things together real well on both sides of the ball. This last week, though it was a tough matchup versus the Rams, we saw the Cowboys put together a good game on all sides of the ball.
Right.
The Chiefs have not hit their stride at all, it seemed. They continue to have the same flaws they had all year long. The Eagles have had the same flaws, kind of as you pointed out earlier on, our troops. So seeing how they still have had their issues, it's gonna be a tough one. But having Patrick Mahomes in the end should get them away, and Kelsey, who's still there as well, should get them over the hump in New England there, even as they have fallen apart a little bit. So going with Kansas City in that one. Going on from there, Texans and Titans in Tennessee. How you have that playing out?
Texans are real banged up.
Yeah.
They hopefully will have Nico Collins healthy. Titans. I think this is the team that Derrick Henry usually goes crazy on.
I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was the Jags or something like that. I don't know.
It's either the Jags or Texans. I think it's the Texans though.
Yeah, I don't know. Two this last game versus the Dolphins. So he might have found his stride.
Yeah. At home. Will Levis, Mayo Man, put together a good game.
Yeah.
Against the Dolphins, surprisingly. I guess I'll ride the hot hand a little bit there, and I will go with the Titans. Stroud can probably have a bounce back against this Titans secondary.
Right.
He had a game that you just want to throw in the trash probably last week, but I think he could bounce back. But I'll go with the Titans, I guess. In a slight
let me save you real quick. He might not play. Also, he's in concussion protocol right now.
That's true.
Does that change anything? Real quick.
Is this a change? Well, I'm picking the Titans.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So regardless, I got the Titans. Yeah.
He's not to the same level as CJ Stroud at all, but Davis Mills is a serviceable backup. So I know they have a couple of guys that be out on the outside, weapon-wise as well. But I think the Texans can still put together a good game as they have a good defense as well that could slow down potentially Levis. Maybe not Henry and Hopkins, as they are guys that are, but I think they can throw enough at Levis to confuse them a little bit to not be able to feed them properly to get ahead of them as they need to get the victory.
I don't know. Zach Wilson cooked him up last week, so I don't know.
Sure. But I think they can bounce back and won't let that happen too many more times in a row. So I'm actually going to go for the Texans for I'm leaning with the Texans in that one. So we'll see how that plays out.
Remember when people thought Davis Mills was a franchise guy?
For a moment, I almost jumped out there and said that, but not the same as CJ. But again, having a good backup goes a long way. So he'll show his worth in that regard for sure this week if called upon. So good stuff there. Moving on, Niners and Cardinals. Is this close at all?
No, this is a rout. This is 49ers dominating performance. Yep.
Commanders at Rams. How you have that playing out Sunday?
Rams get the job done.
Rams as well. Cowboys and Bills as well on Sunday. That should be a fun one. How you have that playing out?
That's a good game. That's a fun one. In Buffalo. So I guess they're gonna have to deal with the elements a little bit. Bills have had their flaws a bit, but since bringing in the new offensive coordinator, gotten James Cook more involved, and they've been playing well. Although Stephon Diggs has been less involved on the flip side, which has been odd too.
Thank God.
Cowboys been really, really strong. I think they need to win a couple of these games to sort of prove to people that they are legit.
Last week?
What?
They didn't prove it last week?
For me, I believe in them, but to people like you and others, I don't think they fully are believe in them. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys here on the road in a tough matchup, kind of solidifying that they are a force to be reckoned with. But I think it should be a really good game.
What's the meme? I hope they both lose. That meme.
Yeah.
I'm feeling about both these squads. Like I don't really care with the Cowboys, and I've had my gripes with Josh Allen for some time, as I pointed out also. So
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be the lesser two evils. But the Cowboys have the better roster right now, so they probably will get it done. But yeah, it should be an interesting one. We'll see how it plays out. So yeah, I'm with the Cowboys in that. Going from there, Ravens and Jaguars Sunday night. How you have that playing out?
That's another good one. I
Trevor's
don't know.
playing.
I was gonna say I don't know what Trevor Lawrence did. That's not a high. That's not a high ankle sprain.
Y'all swore he was done for the season.
Playing in 6
he's not
days.
done. Like the said he's still playing.
That is not a high ankle sprain. Is a 4 to 6 week recovery. You're not playing in 6 days, my guy.
You were like, he's done
I
for
don't
the
know what
season.
happened.
At the same time, the screen over here, the TV was like, he's back this week, and you're like, no, he's done. I'm like, he says he's playing, and you don't want to listen. But
ridiculous.
Okay.
Well, they did lose. They did lose against the Browns too.
So maybe you should have said.
Maybe and just get healthy, get right, because I think they're going to struggle a bit against this Ravens team who maybe they haven't been completely infallible, but they have been really good for most of the season. And they've been able to win close games as well too. So I'm going to go with the Ravens here. They've been able to get some more explosive plays, as you mentioned, more from Odell, more from Zay. Likely stepping up with Andrews out. So I think the Ravens can get this one in a close win.
Yeah, you can't fully steamroll every team in the league. I know as much as we want to see great teams just dominate every time you go out. There are good teams across the league that can put up good fights. And seeing the Ravens went against the Rams squad, who had an offense that is very, very serviceable, and were able to stand in there and finally get the job done in the end. They'll take a miracle regardless. So they stopped the Rams before that to lead to the point that got them to that win. So being able to withstand pressure in that regard definitely goes a long way. We mentioned it before early on in the season when the Eagles were winning and you were mad. I was saying that winning, however you do it, got to be applied. I forgot something along those lines, but just find ways to win. Definitely is winning is a having that as a characteristic is a good thing to have. So Ravens have that right now. I think they should get it again in Jacksonville versus a very respectable Jaguar squad. So it's gonna be fun on Sunday night. It'll be fun on Monday night as well. Eagles and Seahawks. How you have that to wrap up Week 15?
I gave these frauds too much credit, man. I gave them too much credit. Said they were gonna win a close game against the Cowboys. Nah, that game was not close at all. I do think they are a better team than the Seahawks are. The Seahawks have a tough schedule down the stretch, and that's part of the reason why I think the Rams can sneak in there in the playoffs. But this, I think this is a potential bounce back game for the Eagles. While they do have their deficiencies in the secondary, they just bring in like another linebacker.
They got Shaq Leonard from the Colts.
Yeah, Shaq Leonard. Yeah. So they're trying to shore up their defense in some kind of way. And I think he will make an impact. But I think they're going to be able to get some pressure on Geno and make him uncomfortable. And I think the Eagles can win in a tough environment, the 12th man and all that in Seattle. I think the Eagles can get a bounce back win.
I was also going to point out that I think a few teams had their bounce back game versus the Seahawks recently. They just put the Niners to just play somebody else too. They got stomped out a few times by some squads. So I think this is going to be another punching bag game for the Seahawks, sadly, and the Eagles get the job done. And hopefully DK doesn't swing on nobody else in the process. But definitely going with the Eagles in that one, and we'll see if they can reclaim one of their top 5 spots as folks had them for a lot of the year after that. So gonna be a fun week. That is it for Week 15. Quick picks there. Let us know what games stand out to you. Let us know who your upset of the week is going to be and all the good stuff. Make sure you follow us on LA Sports Report. A lot of great things coming on that page to get the new year rolling. And appreciate y'all. Any last words from you, Alec?
Eagles' demise will be televised, as I said.
Demise will be televised. We'll for sure talk about that a little bit more as things go along. Also, after Week 15, we should
power rankings
for every 3. But we got things a little bit mixed up after we lost because of some holiday things going on and all of that. So we will come back with our power rankings after Week 16. We'll have our power ranking after Week 18, and that will lead us into the playoffs because I think there's a bye going into the playoff weekend. I believe, if I'm correct. So yeah, it ended up working out that way. And we'll go accordingly. So yeah, a lot of good stuff on the way. Also, more LA talk. Plenty. Got to talk about Ohtani coming to LA and or coming back to LA. He's already in LA, but most people realize that
coming to the right side of LA for sure.
The right side of LA. The Dodgers. We'll sure deep dive that a little bit.
Yeah.
Our guys over at LA Sports Report or at Dodgers Nation have already broke that down a little bit. Make sure you check those guys out over there. We'll talk more about it on our page here coming up. I'll talk about the Lakers winning the NCAA tournament. Those kind of gloss past that, but we didn't forget already. We want to make sure we highlight that moment and talk more about what's going on with the Lakers squad the rest of the year. We'll talk more about what's going on beyond that with USC basketball. Brian finally has made debut. A lot of fun things going on in the city. We want to make sure we get to. So plenty of things for you to check out. Make sure you subscribe to the page so you don't miss out on anything. And yeah, we'll see you guys again real soon. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Deuces.